just got home from DB's for Diabetes in Watertown, Wisconsin. Shout out to Brant Anderson. It was a great show. I won a few things. I'll just show it here quick. We got some Resilient tweeters, 6.5s, and an Orion 500.4. So, and then a bunch of Usinger sausage and a little bobblehead and then a cutting board. So anyway, I get back from DB's for Diabetes and the subwoofer I needed to be able to compete sitting on the front step. So we have it now. I did this so it's not sitting on the table. We're going to use the DATs, the Dayton Audio DATs, and do a quick comparison. We're going to see the TS parameters of brand new out of the box, 2 months of playtime at close to 2000 RMS, and then the Audio Ace Joker. So the difference between these, that's a 3-inch coil with a triple stack magnet. That's a 2.5-inch coil with a double stack magnet. And other than that, they are identical basket, so literally the exact same basket, just that one's painted and it's painted poorly. But it's comparable at the same power level to these. I just would not trust that to do 2000 watts. I still have not clamped that. We'll do that later. For right now, I want to get this fresh one thrown in the 4th order so that we can start breaking it in. And I'm a little out of breath, but anyway, we're going to do a DAT sweep on this, compare it to the broken in one, see what the parameters look like, and then we can, if we want to pull this out again to see how, if it's fully broken in and comparable to that, we can go back and check and see how close it is to the other one. And then we'll check that. I took pictures of the parameters on that when I first got it, so we can check unbroken in versus like a week of playtime. So, and I made that smell just a little. We were doing a little over, it was rising to 6 ohms. So these rise less. I have noticed that because this, or that one, I was doing almost 2300 watts in that. Whereas this one, I was only, well, I turned it down a little bit, but it was almost all the way up, and it was rising to like 6 ohms, and it was doing about 700 watts. So, and they were both wired to 2 ohms. I think these coils sit just a little bit lower, but I feel like I saw more rise with this. So, then again, I pushed those really hard. I think I did minus 10 dB gains when I set the amplifier, and then I did a 0 dB test tone well into clipping when I pushed those for that 142 at 33 hertz. But chopped 1.25 inches off that port, so our tuning is a little higher. So I don't know what we peak at anymore, and I don't know what we would do and what we'll clamp on power and what, if the impedance rise will change. Anyway, we're gonna do a sweep and get this going. So I don't know if it matters to anyone, but every time I set this up, I do the test lead calibration and the impedance calibration. So we're going to do a sweep. Oh, look at that. So, .3 hertz would be the free air resonance, it appears. Free air resonance spikes to 68 ohms. All right, so now we're going to do measure free air parameters. It's about the same. There's our numbers. So to get the VAS, we're gonna add weight. I gotta measure, I'm gonna use a tape measure as added mass. I just gotta grab my scale and weigh that quick. Then we enter the number of grams, and then that helps us calculate the VAS. So we have to sweep it again with the weight added to it. So do that in a second. So we got the parameters of all three. We're gonna throw the new NVX12 in the fourth order, get that in the car, and get that thing broken in. I'll give it like a week, and then I'll pull it out and see how close it is to the other one. And if it needs more, we can keep going until they're actually even. So it's kind of cool that we can test this and see how broken in they are, so we know when they're ready to be in the same box together. And I'm gonna be building that burp box and tune it to like, I'll tune it to like 50 hertz, and then I'll probably cut down the port a little bit at a time. Just make it shorter and raise it as needed. So if we need a little bit more, we can do that. The goal is to hit a 151 sealed on the dash. So we'll see what happens.